Hello, and thank you for watching and listening to another episode of Unmedicated and Educated with Keita Rose. I'm Keita Rose, and here we deep dive, dissect, and sometimes diagnose, because it seems everyone, including myself, I am never excluded, has lost their damn minds. If you are new here, thank you so much for giving me a try. If you're an OG, then you already know what the is going on. Like, share, subscribe, talk shit! In my comments, tell me how you really feel. And I'm going to tell you guys how I feel about season 7, episode, 40, 38, 39, 56 of Love After Lockup. You guys, this was a long one because it is the season finale before we start to see which couples made it to life after lockup. A lot of stuff happened. There's a lot of new updates. There's a lot of things we need to start talking about. So let's get into it now. But before we get into it, I have to say that I'm finally putting my finishing touches on my stationery. Yes! My new product, my journal/planner. I really wanted to call it a plurnal, but everyone said it was ugly. It was a nasty name for it. They didn't like it too much. Let me know in the comments if you're fucking with plurnal or if it's something that I need to go ahead and work on some more. I really value your opinion, and I value each and every one of you who went down to KeitaSaidIt.com and signed up for my email list. I know some of you are like, we ain't received the email yet. You will be the first to know everything, new content, new discounts, new products as soon as it drops, okay? Just give your girl some time. I'm on tour. Those of you signed up for my Patreon and my YouTube membership will get to see my vlogs. And yes, I'm going to let you deep dive and dissect a little bit of my personal life whilst I'm on tour with tonight's conversation. We were in Miami 2 weeks ago and we just came back from Chicago. Chicago was so live. Everything was beautiful. The love I got, the kisses and the admiration and the hugs, and just everything means the world to me. So you guys will be the first to know whenever something drops. Just go on down to KeitaSaidIt.com, go on down to my email list, and yes, lock in with me. Get up with me. Let me know how you're feeling. It is now time for our
Reality
Whew. All right. So the episode starts off with Bianca and Daniel. Bianca's about to go pick up Daniel from jail, but she's a little pissed off that his family wants to be there to support him. Daniel lets us know that because of the things he witnessed with his stepfather and a lot of substance and drug abuse in his household as a child, that made him want to start smoking weed early, within his early teenage years.
I started smoking weed, drinking alcohol, and eventually it led to heroin, eventually it led to meth.
And then after that, he transitioned or promoted himself to a higher, heavier drug, right? He went into coke, meth, just anything under the sun, really. But I think his favorites are opiates, but he's done with that now. He's been on drugs for about 2.5 decades, but he says that this time will be different and he will not relapse, and he does not see himself going back to jail in the near future. Now, his family isn't so sure, so when they go out to eat, they start to question him, and they want to know, really, what is him and Bianca's plan for the future? Bianca was a little ticked off that they weren't married, but Daniel lets us know that about 24 days into the correspondence with him and Bianca, he got sent to the SHU, and he was really afraid of losing her and her walking away from him. So he decided, in a desperate attempt to save his relationship, to go ahead and ask her to marry him, but he didn't mean it, and he was going through a lot, and he doesn't want to marry her currently at this present moment. Oh, I love it. Now, before they go eat, I found it interesting that as they were driving from the prison to the restaurant, Bianca kept asking questions about the future with Daniel. Like, what if I become pregnant? Like, are you ready for that? Like, how come I'm not married? So when can I expect that? I can wait a year, but I can't wait like more than a year.
What if I get pregnant from stay? How do you feel about getting married? I mean, I can wait a year, but I'm all waiting too.
And immediately I was able to identify that Bianca has an issue with this like fairy tale lifestyle. She has an issue with fantasizing and romanticizing a relationship in her head that hasn't actually happened, that she has no proof that is actually going to happen. They've only been in each other's life for about 8 months. And so they really are just getting to know each other. Even in the car, Daniel's like, well, when's the last time you had sex? And I'm like, you guys haven't had this conversation already? So Bianca kind of flinched, and I thought it was funny. She kind of like hesitated and was like, a year?
A year? What about you, babe?
Like always deflect. Always, whenever you're wanting to lie, go ahead and put it on that other person. But what about you?
I got 4 years on you, baby.
You got like 5 years? Oh, yeah. I think it's gonna last 2 seconds.
2 pop chunk. So we call it on the art. You drink a glass of water, we consume 10 minutes, and it's round 2.
I really want to know in the comments below if you believe that people should speak up and tell their partners when they are absolutely sure they do not want marriage, especially when they know for a fact their partner wants to be married. I only say that because Bianca has expressed this several times. I want to be married. I want to be married. And to her, Daniel's like, yeah, soon, babe. Don't worry. Yeah, soon. But to us, he's like, he has really no intentions of being married. And the only reason he even asked her to get married is because he was in a very low place in his life and he didn't want to lose her. So it's like, do you believe that somebody should, hold off until they're sure, or let somebody know throughout the whole process and be transparent? Like, hey, this month, I'm still not fucking with you, but maybe in 6 months, let's reconvene. So next we have Troy and Z, and oh my God, y'all, a mess, a freaking mess. So Z finally decides to take Troy and his mama to either Syracuse or Buffalo, I think Syracuse, in order to see little Troy. Now I'm thinking he has a little baby boy, even though I know I've said multiple times he has a daughter, he has a daughter, he has a daughter. I thought it was a little boy because everybody was like, well, Troy's about to go see little Troy, but no, it is in fact his daughter. His daughter is named Troy as well after her father. So they finally get there. They're having a party. They're frying chicken. Everybody's listening to music. There's some good food going on, good vibes. I'm messing with it. I like it. I can see that Karen knows how to throw a party, even when she's not present. Okay. She wasn't. She was at Z's house for a minute, but when they pulled up, the party was popping at her house. So I don't know how the producers were able to swing that. But anywho, YONA pulls up with baby Troy, little Troy, and immediately Z's like, no, you go out there, you talk to your baby mama. I don't want anything to do with it. And at first, I'm like, you know what, Z, damn it. You made such a big deal out of YONA knowing that she cheated. You made such a big deal out of the whole situation. Why aren't you trying to be cordial and inviting and really try to get to know these new members, right, of your family? Because your man is out now and his baby mama is going to be a part of his life and his daughter is going to be there as well. So it's his messy mama and maybe his messy cousins or whatever sisters-in-laws or whatever they got going on. You're his wife. So first, I just want to touch on the reuniting of Troy and little Troy. It was beautiful.
Happy or die hard. Yeah, in. Give me a kiss.
He was like, hey, I love you. I miss you. I just want to know that daddy loves you. He kissed her. She was really sweet, very beautiful little girl. And he's like, hey, this is my wife. I loved how he introduced Z. This is my wife. This is the person responsible for getting you all these toys that you're about to get because, daddy didn't have any money. He was incarcerated and, Z really stepped up.
Nice to meet you. My name is Zaria. It's nice to meet you. That's
My wife, baby. That's who was helping your daddy get you all this nice stuff.
And so that really shows the level of respect that Troy has for Z, and I loved it. I did. I thought it was beautiful. And so Z's like, hey, Troy, can I get a hug? She gets a hug. She's like, I can't wait to see you. And YONA's over in the back boiling.
I'm talking about boiling, bitch.
And it's crazy. Like, I don't understand why YONA is upset. So the producers go over there, of course, and they're interviewing her. And right off the bat, I understand why Z is a little bit insecure about YONA now. At first, I was like, oh my God, Z, these are your triggers. It's your business, girl. It's your responsibility to make sure that you can regulate yourself and regulate your emotions. But no, YONA was like, listen, I don't even think Z cute. Who is Z? That's pretty much a stranger. I don't want my daughter around her. I told my daughter that she don't even need to be nice to her.
She's not cute to me. You should be happy that someone like him is standing next to you. Because who are you?
You told your daughter that she doesn't even have to be nice to daddy's new wife? Damn, why? Whatever issues you have with Z is that of yours alone. That little girl should be able to go to either house and see her daddy and see her mommy happy with whoever they choose to be with. So then immediately I knew YONA wants her family back. She wasn't going to hold Troy down while he was in prison because she had to move around, make her money, raise her child, and live her damn life like a
smart bitch.
So she had to do that. That's why she's not interested in holding him down. But now that he's out, okay, resume the responsibility of being my baby daddy, my future husband, and the father to this child. Now, unfortunately, ladies, a lot of men remember who held them down. That doesn't mean that they respect them. That doesn't mean that they won't cheat on them when they're out. That doesn't mean that they won't make a family with you and pretend that they didn't even exist. But one thing those women do have, they do get the shreds of respect that the inmate wants to throw their way. And they remember that they were there. They were put putting money on their books. They were there helping them out, helping them mentally after they got put in the shoe or the dungeon or the box or whatever the hell they call it, where they go out there and make them men just stay in a box for 23 hours a day and don't let them, only let them walk around the yard for an hour and have one breath, if that, of fresh air. So those women were there holding them down, and they remember that. Again, that doesn't mean they'll give a shit about them, but they remember that. Any woman that will name a daughter after her baby daddy loves that man more than she loves herself. It is what it is. So Yana's about to leave, and she's allowing little Troy to be over there and, hang out with the family. And so Troy really wants to discuss the parenting schedule with her. He wants to know how she wants co-parenting to work now that, he's finally out. And Yana, rightfully so, has some reservations. I don't know what the you got going on over here. You just got out of jail, now you're demanding shit from me, and I think it's time for us to slow our roll and maybe have a little sex. Maybe we need to have a little sex to see if you really want to be married to this girl. That's what I think Yana wants to say. Don't call me ugly. That's what I do know. If I gotta feed your baby and you want me to be nice to your baby, don't call me ugly, or I'm gonna sit up there and be throwing Cheez-Its at your baby's head because I'm spiting you. All right? Let's all keep it very cordial, very cutesy, very demure. One thing I noticed is that Z's mad that Troy always appeases his baby mama, but he really doesn't have a choice, right? He has no legal rights. He has no money to fight. He has nothing right now. He's at the mercy of his baby mama to see his daughter. And that's all he wants to do. He just wants to be an active participant in his daughter's life. And so everybody involved needs to make it easy for this man to be able to see his daughter. It's very important. So then we move on to Joey and Kim. And Joey didn't already piss me off. Joey, I'm telling you, Joey is a
grass-fed piece of organic, no GMO horse shit.
Think Asian party. You go to a too. Call while you at it. Maybe y'all could be friends.
Really?
I am just sick of this man. I'm sick of seeing him. I'm sick of his like very low demeanor, very nonchalant. He doesn't feel anything because he's been on drugs for a minute. He's like,
man, everybody be mad at me. I don't even know what I be doing. Ew, yuck!
Kim, I understand you've done some pretty shitty things in your past as well, but even I believe that Kim deserves better. Now, Joey says that his ex won't leave him alone. He refers to her as stupid bitch. That's what he calls her. He says the SFB won't leave him alone, and so he wants to meet up with her so he can get closure. He wants to know why she left him, why she didn't hold him down, why she just left him at the most vulnerable moment of his life. And it's like, it seems like you want to complain and cry about being left whilst you were vulnerable, which is understandable, right? He is a human being. He has feelings, I guess. But it more so seems like you need a little bit closure, and you're mad at her for leaving you, and you still very much so love her and hope for a chance to get back with her. Now, he was mad because she wasn't able to sneak out. Apparently, she is in a relationship, even though she's been communicating with him behind her fiance and or husband's back. I think she's engaged, or he said she was married. She had a man at home, and he believes that she wasn't able to meet up with him at the park because he wouldn't let her out of his sight. And it's like, that's what happens when you're married to somebody or you're getting married to somebody. Usually you're at home with that damn person, and you shouldn't be trying to sneak the hell out. You should be home right now planning your engagement party with Kim, because that's what she's doing. Now, he didn't call off the engagement party. He said he didn't give a F. He was throwing the ring around. He said he didn't care. But when he got stood up, he found his way on home and told Kim that he thinks that he overreacted and he wants to go through with the engagement party after all. And Kim's just sitting on the couch looking checked the out. And that's what I mean about being in a relationship simply for the sake of being in a relationship. She's not happy. I haven't seen this girl smile since he's been in jail. And you really have to regulate yourself and become aware. And the one way that you can become aware of yourself is asking yourself questions on a daily basis. These questions take 5 seconds to answer, right? Am I really happy? Am I enjoying my life? Is the person that I'm with an asset to my life, or are they a liability? Do they add on to my life with my mental health, making me happy, getting me more money, gaining me more success? Am I gaining from this relationship, or am I losing money? Am I losing my success? Am I losing my hair, my teeth, my damn health? My damn mind! You can tell that Kim is with Joey simply because she wants to be in a relationship with Joey. That's it. Nothing else she's gaining from this. She's given a lot. She's getting nothing back. But they decide to go to the engagement party anyway, and you can tell Kim is so excited. She's been waiting for this, and she's happy that he changed his mind about calling it off. So they get there, and everybody is happy and dancing, and Joey is a mama's boy and has definitely been coddled his whole life. Joey's mom goes straight to the woman, which I'm sorry to say. God, I don't want to say this. I don't know anything about these people. I just want to say that. I don't know anything about these people. Everything that I'm saying is solely an opinion based on me watching the show, but just knowing that like Joey's mom was like, yeah, I'm the reason why, Kim got her engagement ring, but I don't know how Joey got that money. It wasn't up to me. And also I didn't want to ask any questions because it's not my business. It's like, all right, you're already relinquishing accountability and responsibility from Joey. You're still going to have him in your life and you're still going to do the things he asks you to do. But when it comes to holding him accountable, you're going to try to like wash your hands with that responsibility. So that lets me know something about you right there. And then, Joey's mom comes right in. She doesn't want anything to do with Joey. She looks right at Kim. She's like beelines it right to Kim. And you can always tell a shitty mother-in-law because they will treat, for the most part in the beginning, they will treat the daughter-in-law so damn good because they want you good and happy.
And he's totally devoted to you. You're totally devoted to him. It's gonna get better.
And they want you to know that everything is going to be as magical as you think it is once you join this family so that you can take on the responsibility. Because, baby, if you're not getting him a car, if you're not getting him to work, if you're not doing his laundry, if you're not cooking for him, if you're not paying for his phone, if you're not doing everything that this grown man should be doing on his own for him, he's going to be asking his mama. I had an ex-mama tell me one time, Keita, please don't leave him. She was tired. She said, Keita, please don't leave him. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, and I just can't take it. And it was at that moment that I was like, if his mom is telling me this, she's had years and years with this man, her efforts have been relentless, and she hasn't had any success in making him or teaching him how to grow up. The male figures in his life didn't have any help teaching him to grow up. Some men just decide that they're going to be pieces of again, organic, okay, grass-fed, non-GMO, non-factory made pieces of dog shit. That's just what it is, and they don't want to change it, and they don't give a damn. And if you don't like it, you can go on. I'll find somebody with lower self-esteem than you that'll accept it. It is what it is. So I guess Kim feels good, with his mother saying that, and so she's going and enjoying the party. She's like, all right, I'm about to get me a drink. I'm really, with the day that I've had, I might need the whole bottle. Like, she's making jokes like that. And Tatum, her cousin, comes in. Now, if you remember, Tatum used to date Joey when they were like 15 or 16, and Joey cheated on Tatum with Kim. So this is a 45-year-old karma, if you ask me. But Tatum comes in, and she's like, everybody's looking at me. I'm a little bit awkward. And they were, in fact, staring. Joey was eyeing her down, and Kim was just looking at her, and I think it was just an awkward moment. But I think her nerves get the best of her, and she starts to cry, and she's like, I really need to talk to you. I don't think I like seeing you two together.
So you're not together.
Is it really? Yeah, I don't think I'll like it.
And Kim is like, really? And I'm not going to lie, I had that same reaction. Like, really? You guys were together at 15 and 16, and though I know it hurts to be cheated on, you guys were together when you were 15 years old. So isn't this something that you're over? Well, it turns out she is over that, but she wasn't over the fact that in the parking lot, while she was coming into the building, Joey whistled at her like, I can't whistle, you guys, damn. I don't know, like sexy, like woo woo, you know what I mean? Cat called her, whistled her, let her know she was fine. She was bad. He was looking at that ass. And so Tatum didn't like that. And she was like, listen, I think that he's going to cheat on you. I think that he's playing you. And he disrespected you and me, just a couple minutes ago. Kim is like, that's not a big deal. I don't understand Tatum. I hope she gets over it. I don't think that Joey whistled at her. When confronted, he was like,
Baby, you believe that? You believe I whistled? What'd you say? I blinked at her? I whistled at her? What did you say? I didn't do that shit. She's crazy.
And it's like, yes, I really 100% believe Tatum, and I think that she did it. So, of course, Kim tells the rest of the family, and the family is like, I believe Tatum. Tatum is real. She doesn't lie. There's no reason for her to have said that if it didn't happen. And honestly, Kim is just trying everything in her power to ignore all of these red signs, to ignore the fact that she needs to get out of this relationship. She's with somebody who has disrespected her so many times in the little span that they had together. She's gifted him a car. She's given him money. He stole from her. He's laughed at her. He's called off the engagement. He's now whistled at her cousin. How much more? I think honestly, Kim is the type of woman, because she's already invited this man into her house and got her kids calling him Santa and shit like that. And I know the feeling. I know how hard that must be, but you have to understand, kids just like a good time. Kids be like, "Hi, Uncle Johnny." And then when Uncle Johnny goes away, if Uncle Tevin comes and brings gifts, "Hi, Uncle Tevin." Like, kids don't give a shit like you give a shit. Not really. Not unless this is like a staple member of their life for years and years and years, and then you snatch them away or something terrible happens. Kids don't care about your stupid jailhouse boyfriends. They want toys and they want time with you or time with someone that's going to play with them. So please, take some time and spend some damn time with your fucking kids, okay? Okay. So there's not really much on Hope and Arthur. If you remember, Arthur is Triangle Head Man and Hope is pink-haired lady. Hope was really relieved that he got to meet her family. And, Arthur was a little bit irritated. He was mad that the family was grilling him, and he felt like Hope didn't really stand up for him. But to be fair, when Yo Mama was grilling Hope, you didn't really stand up for her. I mean, no. He kind of did. He did. He stood up for her. But at the end of the day, these men and the family, the grandfathers and the fathers, they want to talk to the man. And Hope has a point. Hope is like, well, I couldn't answer all the questions for you, because the whole point of them grilling you and asking you these uncomfortably hard questions is to get to know your mindset and what your actual plan is. Do you have a plan? And he's like, well, honestly, I just, I want to stick around. And she's like, well, they want to know if you're a macho man. And I mean, this is Kim's like fifth hint at, I want you to be a man, and the way that I view a man is a provider. And even though I understand you're in a situation where you just got out of jail and you're not going to be financially fit, I will not and cannot see you as a man until you provide either 75% or 100% of these household, bills. Make my life easier, not harder. My life was hard, and I was single, and I was by myself, and I was lonely, and I didn't have a man providing for me or protecting me when you were in jail, and now you're out, and I still have that same feeling, and I do not know when that feeling is going to end. Instead of her saying that, she's like, step up. I really like Triangle Head Man. He's like, well, I'm not a macho man, so I can't show your family that I'm a macho man. I'm not even going to pretend to be, but what I will do is stick around and try my best. And right now, you're not my wife, you're my girlfriend, and I want you to stick around. And so they kiss, they go back to their apartment, and I think that they're gonna make it. Actually, I lied. I do not believe they're gonna make it. And the reason I said that is because there's another channel called According to Amber, and according to Amber, May of this year, Triangle Head Man got arrested. He was in a domestic dispute with Hope, and there was a gun involved, and the gun went off. I don't know if the gun accidentally went off, who pointed the gun at who, but Hope got shot, and she either accidentally shot herself or somebody's trying to cover up for Arthur shooting her with a gun, a loaded gun. I heard it from According to Amber, and you know what? She's got all the receipts, and damn. So they're not actually even together. And I really contemplated on if I wanted to tell you guys like real life shit or just stick with the show. But I think it adds more pizzazz to tell you what these people are actually experiencing in their lives. No more. Pew pew happened, and they broke up, and they're no longer together, but we'll follow the storyline as much as we feel like it. We don't really follow Letitia and Keith anymore, because Letitia was spending most of her time, her screen time, her on-air time, trying to make up a storyline. It just made it so I wish them the best as well. I don't know what's going on. I think they're on life after lockup, so that should be interesting. So next we have Christine and Julian, and I know that I said a lot of harsh things about Julian in my last video.
That he was narcissistic and he only cared about himself and he was a selfish asshole that just wanted to break down Christine for no reason because he had no job and because he had no money. He wanted her to work harder and pick up extra shifts like a man because he couldn't provide or pay the bill.
Yeah, I did say all that stuff, but it turns out Christine tried. She gets up there, and in the first couple of seconds, I thought she was doing pretty well, but then she really bombed. She was tanking.
Now this is called convict comedy because I am in fact a convict.
She wasn't actually telling jokes. She was just telling a story. And even though your life story might be funny to you, you have to dress it up in a way in which other people want to actually hear that shit. And so I think that she should continue on trying, Everybody needs a passion. Everybody needs a hobby, something that they're interested in growing and developing skills in. So I love the fact that she's doing stand-up, but she didn't polish up her jokes enough, and it showed. And the heckler in the crowd really pissed her off. He kept, saying things like, you were stealing. You didn't rob a bank. You didn't have a gun. So you were just stealing, and just stupid shit like that hecklers do. Personally, if you ever go to one of my shows, if you ever are blessed with an opportunity to see me in person on a show, whenever I'm hit with a heckler, because one of the things Christine was asking was, what do you do? Like, do you continue on? Do you entertain them? Like, what do you do? I tell them to shut the up.
Hey, you bought a ticket right, just like everybody else, so everybody else wants to enjoy me right now, but they can't because you're fucking talking. Shut the up. Security, shut the up.
That's just what I do personally, but everyone's different. When dealing with hecklers, I tell them to go ahead and shut up. The heckler heckles Christine so much so she feels like she just wants to cry. She wants to run off stage, and that's exactly what she does. She runs off stage. Julian goes running after her and the people that came to support her, and they're like, hey, F that guy, he's really rude. He's just a drunk bastard. I'd like to see him get up and try to do what you just did. Really trying to support her. Julian wants to take her home. Everybody thinks that's best at the time, and honestly, I like that Julian stepped up. The first thing he wanted to do was really like beat that guy up and go punch him in the face, and it was just so like unintimidating. It's like, Julian, you weren't gonna do a thing but gather your wife and take her ass home, as you should have. I like that he handled it like that, and I like that he supported her and told her that she was hilarious and that she could tell jokes and that she's only gonna get better. And I can now see why Christine is in love with Julian. He is her rock, and he helps her through hard times. And honestly, that's what you need when you're dealing with a substance abuse issue. You need somebody that's gonna be around to support you and tell you that you can keep going. You don't need to run devices whenever you're inconvenienced or whenever you're uncomfortable. You can do anything that you put your mind to if you keep putting your mind to it. So I really want to take back half of the shit I said about Julian, but not the full amount of shit that I said about Julian. No. He did apologize, though. He said that he couldn't pay the bills, and so he's putting a lot on Christine, and he was really sorry for that. And I like that he apologized too. So we'll see if he means it. So last but not least, we have True and Shantae. Now, everybody is happy that True isn't going to jail, but he does have to be on house arrest, and it has to be in his local county. So he's met up with a friend of a friend, and her name is Pepper, and she says that she likes to help out her family and friends whenever they can. She has a house that Shantae describes as a trap house, as a crack house. Okay, she doesn't like the outside or the inside or whatever the house is. Shantae says it just looks like shit and she doesn't like it. But Pepper is offering this piece of shit house to her baby daddy, and she should be grateful. But I think that Shantae's really scarred. True has cheated on her a lot, has sex with a lot of women. So at this point, she doesn't know Pepper, and she doesn't know if them two are gonna like secretly rendezvous behind her back or in front of her face, or when she's 5 hours away taking care of their babies. She doesn't know. That's the reason why they pull up to Pepper's house. She's about to go meet Pepper. So they go into Pepper's house, and Pepper already looked like she don't give a shit, right? She got the hoodie on. She's like, what's up? What are we doing this meeting for?
Yo, what's up with you, Pepper? Pepper, this is Shantae. They nice other say, yo, ain't you? I want to show her. Introduce y'all to each other.
True tries his best to like cordially introduce the two, but he basically like,
she wanna know if we gon' sleep together and if I'm safe and shit up in here. So tell her what she wants to hear. Tell her.
And Pepper like, listen, I don't do women. I don't like bitches. And I believed her. She was like, I don't like bitches. Okay? I don't want a lot of people up in my house. I don't like company, so I don't like people having company. He can be here. He can sit here. He can sit in the living room, and he can do what the hell he got to do. I think that probation or parole, whichever he's on, told him that he can have a couple of free hours, which I do believe he's going to spend having sex with as many women as possible. But those hours are from like Monday and Wednesday from like 8 a.m. to like 10 a.m. or something like that. I think that if apply for a job or go to the bank or something like that, he's allowed to do so, but he needs to be back in the house during the hours. Anywho, Shantae says she's cool with it. She believes Pepper. Everything is fine. So they're about to leave and they go to the store. Well, while in the store, Shantae lets us know that True got a phone call, but his Bluetooth was still connected. So she heard pieces of his phone call and it was a girl. And he was telling the girl that he was going to be with her as soon as he was able to drop Shantae off and handle that issue. So Shantae is pissed. Shantae is saying that he's cheating on her. She's tired of this. She's calling her friend Naya. Naya's like, F that in, what the na. And so all this is happening. But at the end of the day, True starts laughing because he knows that she isn't going anywhere. He's cheated on you multiple times. And at this point, it's not even cheating because he's told you to your face in front of everybody that he's not with you. He just got out of jail. He wants to have fun. He wants to have sex. He wants to be free. He doesn't want to worry about you. He'll be there to buy you 99-cent booties and maybe some bottles and shit, but that's it. Back up. He wants to have sex and he wants to do his thing with other women. He's told you that to your face. And she's like, yeah, but we're supposed to be working on things, right? You guys are supposed to be working on co-parenting, working on communication, working on whether or not you two want to be together, working on a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that you're actively together now and he's not going to stop sleeping with other people. We really need as women to understand how to define a relationship and say, what do you actually want and what do you think I'm actually here for? But speaking of the twins, we have some tragic news. It turns out due to whatever reason, maybe stress, maybe the fact that her body just couldn't handle the twins, because I myself know that is a terrible, terrible pain, just emotionally and physically. So we are, despite all the jokes, I know that she wanted to be a mom, and anybody that wants to be a mom that experiences losing a child, it is a deafening pain. The pain is harrowing. So I can understand that she might be sad in that sense and heartbroken in that sense. But I really hate to say it, but it wouldn't be me if I didn't go ahead and say it. God, sometimes through the pain, you actually experience a blessing. And no, it is not a blessing that she had a miscarriage at all, by all means. But being attached to this man with not one, but two children and being attached to him for the rest of your life. Can you imagine being 55 and him being like, give me some money. I need to talk to you. Lil Ray J, we still parents to Lil Ray J and Little Nay J. And it's like, yeah, but they're 36. And it's like, well, give me some money. I'm still your baby daddy.
Ew.
Listen, sometimes we get do-overs is all I'm saying before I find myself saying some shit and getting canceled. Oh, the tea that I have to spill. I have a little tea. So Teenie and Rob from the last recap, the last season, if you can remember, Teenie reached out. She says that she's a fan of the page and that she wouldn't mind sitting down and having an unmedicated conversation on the couch. And so I'm really excited. And I just want to know, are you guys excited for that interview? Write down some questions below you'd like me to ask, if this thing goes through. And also, what other castmates would you love to see me sit down and talk to? Because baby, I got some questions that I don't think were really answered during the seasons. All right. So let me know that below. And until next time, I will holla.